Chandula had 9 R's, 3 M's and used the filler word and repetitively. Toastmaster for the day and fellow Gambians. That was my counter report for my first ever table topic. My speech was 1 minute and 30 seconds long with 12 filler sounds and repetitive words. That's one every 10 seconds and who knows how many ends in between. I was disappointed. Up until that point, I hadn't even realized that I used so many filler words. Give me a virtual raise of hands. How many of you relate to my story? I see quite a few hands. Well, congratulations. You achieved the step 1 of weeding out filler words in your garden of public speech. Now, when I found this out, I wanted to figure out why we used filler words. So I dug into linguistic research and found out that on average, people use 2 to 3 filler words every minute in day-to-day conversations. Filler words are there in every language, including the sign language. Now, filler words even have an advantage in conversations, where a pause or a silent moment may be cue for the other person to start speaking. A filler word indicates that you're not done yet. But that's in a conversation. It doesn't serve a purpose in presentations or delivering a speech. Worse, it makes you seem hesitating, reluctant to speak, uncomfortable, and hence appears unreliable to the same audience that you're trying to convince or impress. In my personal study of trying to weed out these filler words, I narrowed it down to 3 practically feasible steps that you can follow to get rid of these like, well, filler words. Tip number 1, getting comfortable with silence. When we're speaking in front of a crowd, we don't want to pause because we think that if we are silent, then our audience might think that we lost track of what we were talking about. But actually, the opposite happens because a pause gives your audience a moment to reflect and accept your message. We have an advantage. A lot of people don't even realize that they use filler words. But in Gavel, we have this amazing role player called the R counter, who counts our R's and M's for us, so that we can A, realize that we use filler words, B, realize how often we use filler words. Which brings me to my tip number 2. Replace old habits with new habits. When you're practicing a speech and you want to make a pause, practice saying pause out loud. For example, I'm here today to talk about how not to use filler words, pause. So that when you deliver your speech, you can say the word pause in your head. I am here today to talk about how not to use filler words. You even sound more confident, and you also give your audience a moment to grasp what you just said. The final tip number 3, take a breath. In between your messages, take a deep breath. Again, you are taking a pause, but this time you're also giving yourself a chance to relax. And to your audience, you appear more composed. This brings me to the final step, the step 2 of weeding out these filler words. It is the simple and underrated practice makes perfect. So practice, practice, and practice. You can practice during gathering meetings. You can practice with a friend. You can even practice by yourself. Filler words distract your audience and make you seem unprofessional and awkward, but it is just another obstacle that you can overcome to make that perfect speech delivery. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.